Hello, everybody. Welcome to Comedy Film Nerds, episode 246. A little bonus.
This is a bonus episode.
Boom.
Yeah, and it's actually a really cool one, too, because we're going to talk a little bit, go over a few things, like the interview being pulled. And then we're going to throw it over to Neil and his interviews over at Shriekfest, the horror film festival from October. And we love this festival, too. It's run by Denise Gossett, and it's a small, intimate horror, sci-fi film festival, and in fact they even tried to expand it once, and the fans got angry. They're like, well, no, I want to be able to see everything. Like, they got mad that you would actually have to pick like a giant festival, you know, between movies, and they're like, so they actually unexpanded it. They had to contract the festival to make it smaller to because that's what the fans wanted.
On for what, like 14 years?
Years and years, and it's Denise Gossett really runs a nice festival. Neil goes every year, and we gave him a recording device this time.
Mm-hmm. Like, we've recorded filmmakers in the past at the party, which has always been fun. We just the last couple of years we haven't had time because of the festival and earbuds and everything. So Neil, we just gave him a Zoom, and he went around the festival and interviewed. There's some filmmakers, so it's really cool because we know some of you that listen are filmmakers yourselves,
yes,
or you're in film school,
or you're really interested in the nuts and bolts of indie film and how it actually, as you say, how the sausage gets made.
Yeah, how it gets made. Like, because again, you don't have to be a huge horror fan to just hear what the filmmakers went through to get it made.
Right.
So it's pretty interesting. It's a pretty. So you're going to hear a little bit of that later on.
And for those of you who are new listeners, I know we get a lot of new listeners coming. This isn't a typical episode. This is a bonus, extra interviewee episode.
Yeah, a very filmmaker interview. We like to sprinkle these in throughout the year, just to do something a little different.
And we're, huge proponents and advocates of indie film, as you guys know, so we want to support any way we can.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to hear about some cool little films.
Yes, that may or may not be getting distribution, and some of them are.
Yeah, and that you can track down on the internet. And then if you ever get if any of these movies sound intriguing to you and you track them down and watch them, send the filmmaker an email saying, I heard about you on Comedy Film Nerds, and I'm glad you made your movie, or whatever. Like, that just helps that they know that they're getting some traction from doing interviews with us.
Yeah, people are seeing their work.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of interviews, so yesterday Sony and AMC and I think Regal and a couple other things pulled the movie The Interview from being released on Christmas Day. So the fucking terrorists won.
Well, what's interesting is it was a whole kind of it was a mess from the beginning, because at first Sony, there's different reports, and I don't know if we'll ever get the exact story, but what happened was Sony's like, we're not pulling it, but then the movie theaters went, well, we're not showing it. So then well, wait, if you're not showing it, then that's what it's.
Yeah, and honestly, some of the interviews I was watching,
and now it's like, now Sony just pulled it. So now
it does sound like yesterday that
now.
they were sort of, I guess they were a little bit under pressure from, like, it started with AMC, I believe, and AMC,
ArcLight too.
ArcLight, and they were like, because the terrorists who hacked into Sony's internet threatened to then there's going to be a worse 9/11 style in all of your movie theaters that show this
at the same time.
At the same time. Okay. Haven't we gotten those threats a bunch? Like, what are you kidding? So you're letting this is, we always joke, oh, you're letting the terrorists win. You actually did let them win.
No, this time you actually did.
You won. Yeah. You let them win. And shouldn't you be like, no, we're going to show this movie. Like, we're going to make this happen.
Or you outsmart the terrorists and you do something a little bit different. Like, oh, you're going to threaten the movie theaters. Okay, well, you know what? The movie will be available on demand Christmas Day everywhere. On the internet, online, the cable companies would have loved it because everyone would buy the movie to see, what was the fuss all about? Yeah. iTunes would love it. I mean, so there's many different ways to get around it, other than running away like a scared child.
It's so, and I was watching CNN yesterday, and they were talking to
in a real serious tone, like this is like the hugest deal ever.
Well, the point, again, I agree with your sentiment that, yes, the mainstream media loves hyping stuff up, and it's all about fear-based. That's all their news. But they did bring up a valid point, which is, this was a cyber attack. I mean, and the CNN woman, again, who she's trying to stir things up, but she was bringing up a valid point, which is if they would have, like, physically attacked us, we'd be like, okay, this is an act of war.
Right.
But since it's, and Dan Rather was and he was making a good point. He goes, well, let's get all the evidence first. Don't overreact. Don't just like, we're attacking you. But, CNN, made a good point, which is, they're shutting shit down. They're threatening to bomb us in movie theaters, and we're letting them. They said they hacked into Sony, which is a giant corporation. I mean, we learned from the emails something we've already known, which is Hollywood executives are all assholes and racists. I could have told you that without Sony having to hack into it.
Yeah.
But it is a valid point. Like, this isn't just some fucking around. Like, and it does make you worry. What else could they hack into and shut down?
Right. I'm going to propose an alternate theory right now. And it will be contingent upon if you've seen the trailers for this film. I've seen the regular trailer and I've seen the Red Band trailer, and they both look awful. So I'm wondering if Sony executives went, oh, thank God, now we have an excuse to pull this movie. Because I'm like, let's just take the right down.
Well, now with Sony, if they did that, I don't think they did that. I think they just panicked and they're stupid. How they could salvage us now is, because I wasn't that excited. I was like, man, this movie could be funny, could not be funny. Now I'm like, I'm definitely going to watch this movie.
Well, now look at the hype. Now all of a sudden everyone wants to see this movie. Now
I would have gone out of my way to see it in a theater.
Right.
If some theater had the balls to show it, I'd be like, I'm going, and fuck them.
Now, Sony also has been very, very quiet about, okay, well, you pulled it from theaters. Is it going to be on demand, DVD? What's going on with this movie? And they're being quiet. They're like, there's no release plans right now. So what I think will happen is after this all kind of dies down, the movie will eventually come out. We just don't know where or when. Now, I'm going to give Mitt Romney a little bit of credit right now. And this was so funny. He actually got it half right on Twitter. Mitt Romney tweeted that, hey, Sony, don't back down. Release the movie for free, then ask fans to give to charity to pay for the film.
Right.
Now, but he said that people should give to the Ebola Fund for research for Ebola. I'm like, really? That's the main priority right now in this country? But not cancer, not poverty, not failing educational systems. Ebola, that's where we should be throwing all of our money to? And I realized, it's a political jab. That's all it was. But, the first half of the sentiment was correct, and Sony really could have spun this properly. Okay, well, if this is such a big deal, we'll either release it on demand. I mean, movies cost a lot of money. I can understand them not wanting to give it away for free.
No.
Nor should they.
Wouldn't you buy it for $7 in the comfort of your own home?
Absolutely, I would, because then it beats the terrorists that they're again. Well, how are you going to? You'd have to.
You can't stop us now.
Yeah, you'd have to bomb Time Warner Cable, and they have mercenaries up on top of their buildings. So.
They hire ex-Navy SEALs at Time Warner.
They're obviously they're doing. Every person that comes into your home is ex-CIA, just so you know, from Time Warner.
Well, one of the things too they were talking about was, how do you get the citizens of North Korea to see this? Because obviously it's a closed society. One of the things I didn't realize that's happened is there's organizations in South Korea that will put DVDs in balloons and float them over.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
And so they were like, well, Sony should get that. Like, we're going to get this into North Korea as best we can.
The balloon marketing. What's the balloon marketing budget on that film?
Well, we're going to start to do that for Comedy Film Nerds. I want to send leaflets like they used to in those old propaganda.
But what fascinates me too is that like a country like North Korea to like try to ban this film in a technological entertainment and a let me start over. In a technological modern society, it is impossible to suppress information forever, especially when you're dealing with entertainment, like movies. I mean, chances are that movie is already somewhere on Pirate Bay or some kind of pirated site already. And chances are there's people in North Korea that have, some kind of internet speakeasy that can actually see it.
Sure. The other thing, Fareed Zakaria, on CNN brought up a great point. He goes, if Iran would have done this, people would be fucking screaming for war. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Like, why? That was one of the questions they're asking: is why isn't everyone?
Why North Korea?
Why is everyone just going? North Korea, look what they did. Like, no one because we don't take them seriously because they're sort of this joke nation, and their leader. Him and his dad were both weirdos with weird haircuts. They're just sort of like, everyone treats them like the Donald Trump of Asia. Just like, you got a dumb haircut and you say stupid crap.
It makes you wonder, too, because now Sony is also a Japanese company. They're also on, that side of the world.
Well, they're on that side of the world. The other thing, too, is, this does figure into China in terms of China supplies North Korea a fair amount of its oil and food and stuff like that. So they're allies. But then, China is making a lot of money off of films. And obviously they have their own film economy.
Right.
But then the Chinese...
But it's heavily regulated.
It's heavily regulated. And the Chinese government is the type of government that would say, we don't want you to release that movie. Case in point, Red Dawn... The remake of it that came out a couple years ago.
They changed, they CG'd the uniforms.
Well, right, because it was originally written that China invaded us.
Right.
But then everyone went, well, that's bad. We want this movie in the Chinese film market, so we're going to change it to North Korea.
Right.
So...
Now, why, where was the uproar over that?
Yeah, there was no uproar. Well... Exactly.
From North Korea.
There was no uproar from North Korea. I'm sure there was something. Mm-hmm. But this movie that openly, kind of mocks them, I don't know why they're going after this movie so hard unless they're just tired of Seth Rogen, like a lot of people are. Like, he was on the cover of Rolling Stone. It's like the stoner genius or successful stoner. And I was just like, oh, God.
No.
First of all, I'm a little tired of stoners.
Tired of stoner geniuses?
Yeah. Well, there's no such thing.
So, I don't know. It's a really interesting thing. Clearly, Sony has done the wrong thing. But what and
the movie theater chains. Like,
yeah. But you wonder, too, it's like,
Cinemark,
why couldn't you navigate a solution that... is not pulling it. That's what's so weird. Like,
and I hate this.
Throw it on demand. I mean, why?
Fucking reactionary bullshit.
Yeah.
I hate this.
What do you think it does now? It emboldens.
You think no, but it's just panicky, reactionary bullshit, and it drives me fucking crazy.
And it's great for the cable news outlets. Now they have a great thing for
to fill their dumb
24-hour
news cycle.
Yep. This will be 48 hours at least.
Yeah.
And then Christmas Day, interview with Seth Rogen. Are you disappointed your movie didn't come out? And it'll be all this stuff now. It'll go on and on and on.
I mean, Seth Rogen should be handing out DVDs and encouraging people to have screening parties around America or whatever. Like, there's a way to make this right, but it's just these corporations just always overreact.
Yeah, they got so
just
scared.
Shut it down, or I'm okay. Shut it down.
And it started with one. I'll tell you, if one of them would have taken a stand, what if AMC would have said, "Well, we're not caving to terrorists. We'll show the film.
We're showing the film. We're not caving to terrorists." This is America.
And then what would Sony have done?
They would have gone.
Fine.
Yeah, Sony would have gone, absolutely. Yeah. We back AMC, and then...
It's groupthink fear is
so
what it
stupid.
is.
Why are you so stupid, you dumb corporate assholes?
Or if Sony would have stuck to their guns like they did originally, they're not... We're still releasing the movie, even though the movie theaters won't show it, so be it. We'll get it out there anyway.
And this fucking groupthink shit, and it's funny...
and we're not talking about either way. It's not going to be a great movie. No matter what happens, it's not going to be an amazing film,
right? But you're letting.
We're not talking about banning Schindler's List or something like that.
But here is what is happening. You are letting a communist rogue nation
dictate your entertainment choices.
They are trying to shut down art.
Right.
Does that sound familiar to anybody? Like, that's bullshit. And is the interview art? Well, it is. I mean, in a certain sense,
technically,
yes, it is.
Broadly, no.
Broadly, no. And every American has the right to go see this film that could spell the end of the James Franco-Seth Rogen relationship. But who cares? Like, it's.
You want to see Seth Rogen shoving mechanical shit up his ass?
Great.
It's you should have the right to see that without the terrorists telling you can't.
Terrorists shouldn't. should be able to let you decide whether or not you're done with
I think I'm flipping around on this. I think the terrorists might be right about this movie.
Actually, thank you, North Korea, for shutting this down. If you could do this with more Adam Sandler films, we'd be really happy.
And Annie, that would be great. So, maybe it's a good thing. We'll see.
God.
But yeah, all kidding aside, it's ridiculous. It's nonsensical that Sony would pull the film. So
yeah,
but like in this day and age of technology, let's say, okay, the movie theaters are threatened in an empty threat. By the way, I would think there'd be our government would be a little more worried. Yeah, so be it. Then then it goes straight to on demand, and everybody can watch it in the privacy of their own home.
Well, guess what? You know what ISIS is going to do next? They're going to pick some movie and blah blah blah. I mean,
Sony could have had.
Did this? They overreact to everything since.
This could have been the highest grossing on-demand film of Christmas Day ever.
Yeah,
ever in the history of on-demand.
Right.
So, all right, your move, Sony.
Way to go, punks.
So, we have an ad read now.
Oh,
and you know what? This is really exciting.
And it's for Sony Pictures Entertainment. They're a great
they invented the Blu-ray, and you just can't go wrong. I have a PlayStation. I love this company. Our ad read is for Sherry's Berries, and we really love this company for a number of different reasons. First of all, they have an amazing product. It
tastes
is so good.
It tastes great. I already ate a box of them.
Yeah.
A whole box. Yeah. I live alone.
Yeah, and I would have if I didn't have my family devouring the rest of them. With Christmas coming around next week, we're giving you guys a great deal. Sherry's Berries and CFN is giving you guys a great deal. All you have to do is type in CFN into the little microphone at the top of the website, and that website is berries, BERRIES, and you can double your berries.com, and you can double your berries for only $10 more. There's offers starting at $19.99. And look, like I said, Christmas is next week. Don't ruin it.
That's ruin
all you have
Christmas.
To do is not ruin it. You've really gotta do a strawberry work it. You have to do a strawberry work it.
Hashtag strawberry work.
Yeah. And they also gave us...
Unless, of course, you like terrorists and you like them not wanting you to have delicious American
delicious berries and cherries and cake pops.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Then
they don't get those in North Korea.
No, they don't. So take advantage.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. This is what I love this company too. They really stepped up and gave us 10 gift cards for $50 off whatever you want. So if you buy something in the store, we throw in a gift card. Now, we only have a few left. Most of them are gone already, but I think there might be one or two left. Mm-hmm. Don't quote me on it. I haven't checked the computer. Orders are coming in constantly, but there might be a couple left. So if you order something, you might get a $50 gift card. So Sherry's Berries, it's berries.com, BERRIES.com, and it's amazing. We only have sponsors that we like, and that's the truth. There have been sponsors. I know it seems hard to believe as we bitch about money all the time and our budgets that we have actually turned down sponsors. We really have. Because, we have integrity and we're dumb.
Yeah, we're dumb. So it's not easy to do, turn down a sponsor.
So definitely support Sherry's Berries, and they're starting at $19.99. The coupon code is CFN. There's still time to order for Christmas. Strawberry work it. Do it.
Yeah, boom. Everyone's going to love this gift, unless you send it to diabetics.
Yes.
Which I would.
Even then, they'll enjoy looking at them.
Eat it in front of a diabetic.
In North Korea.
Suck it, Kim Jong. All right, let's do a little fan feedback.
Little fan feedback. Then we'll throw it over to Neil with the Shriekfest interviews.
Throw it over to Neil. All right, so on the message boards, Jesse put a cool post about its trailer season and all of the cool trailers that are going on. I'm going to scroll down here and take a look at it. So Jesse's been posting on there. It's trailer season. This was posted yesterday. And basically it says, as movie studios start the hype trains rolling for the big summer releases next year, and much later in some cases, we're starting to see some pretty cool trailers pop up. I love a good trailer and will happily watch one for a movie I have no intention of seeing. So in Jesse's post, which was December 17th, there's some links to the new Avengers trailer and the new Mad Max trailer.
Everyone I've told about the Mad Max trailer, they come back and say, "Oh my God, I'm on board."
I know
it's unbelievable,
and I think this is why this post is important, because you say they're making a new Mad Max movie. A lot of people's gut instinct is like, "Oh, great."
I had that exact reaction.
How are they going to ruin it? Yeah. Well, actually, you go, "Oh shit!"
Oh, it's the same filmmaker who did George Miller, who did the first one. They're not gonna mark this as from the filmmaker of Happy Feet. they're not gonna do that.
You really should do that more often.
So I think what is going on is this trailer, when you watch it, it builds in such a way that the spectacle gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, where your jaw is just on the floor. Like, oh my God, it's crazy fighting with cars. Oh my God, now there's a storm. Now people are getting thrown over there. Now there's lightning, and now there's guns. Like, oh my God, it's fantastic.
It's
trailer.
Great. And then Jesse asked at the end of the post, "What are your favorite trailers?" So you guys post, and we'll read. If you post some cool trailers and find some cool stuff, post it to Jesse's thread here, and we'll read those in some upcoming episodes.
Sure.
And also cool. I don't know if we said this. I know this came out a while ago, but John Wick. There's a lot of the John Wick film were like, oh, some people didn't like it. A lot of people
loved it. It was split a lot of people.
A lot of people loved it. And if we haven't already, we want to say C.J. Johnson, our Australian correspondent, wrote a pretty cool review on John Wick on the website. So check that out and go to Jesse's trailer season on the message boards. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw it over to Neil T. Weakley, who's got some cool interviews at the
2014 Shriekfest.
I don't know why that was marbling my mouth. I'm already thinking about Sherry's Berries. Yeah. Hashtag strawberry work it. So here's Neil T. Weakley at Shriekfest 2014.
Oh, delicious.
Hello, everybody. This is Neil at Comedy Film Nerds, and I am at Shriekfest 2014. It is the 14th year, and we are here with a gentleman who had a good short film here this weekend. And so your name is, let's tell everybody who you are and what you did.
Hey, I'm Matthew Rosevalley from Sepulture Productions. How you doing?
All right. And your film was?
My film was called Honey. It's an episode of my horror web series, Horror Show Theater.
That's cool. I like that you told me about that, because I want to talk about that too, and you'll be able to tell everybody where it's at.
Cool.
General, I don't know about too much. It's not a long film, so I don't want to talk too much about it, because this is one of those cool shorts for me. I love that kind of take you in one direction and then they sort of switch on you.
Oh, yeah.
It's really nice. So there's a little punch at the end, which I like.
Horror is about punches.
Yes, it is. Tell us about the cast, a guy who most people will know. Ed Gale, you had?
Ed Gale's he's a very talented guy. He was Chucky in Child's Play. He was Howard the Duck.
I think that's great. He's Howard the Duck. When he was Howard the Duck, I was like, really?
Well, it's his bread and butter. Like, people really remember Howard the Duck.
They do.
And Ed's a guy who just respects anything that people remember him for. So
yeah, it's true. Now, tell me, how did you come in contact with Ed?
When I first moved to Hollywood, I went to a horror convention, and I bumped into him, and I was passing out business cards, and he was very open to spending time and hanging out after the event, and we just got to know each other.
Oh, that's very cool. It's nice when you just kind of organically get to know somebody. And, yeah.
So I wrote the part for him, and he was open to shooting with me for a day, and that's what happened.
Oh, cool. So you wrote it for him?
Yes, exactly.
What was the impetus for this particular script?
I wanted to create a scenario where the immediate threat didn't look intimidating. Mm-hmm. So you didn't quite see what was happening until the end, where you realize the actual threat is much bigger.
Yeah.
It's the whole, what is that thing behind you element that I was trying to create with this short.
Well done. It worked.
Thank you.
For me. I noticed you put yourself, that's kind of cool. You did a great job as a terrified human being strapped to a chair.
Thank you. Funny thing that I've been trained for 14 years as an actor, and this is my opportunity to get to be on film for the first time in a long time.
Cool.
So it was nice.
Nice to be able to put yourself in it.
Oh, yeah. I had another guy in mind. He's another good friend of mine, Bill Oberst, but unfortunately he was busy. So
okay, I know the name Bill Oberst.
I might as well take it.
Absolutely, and it worked. It was great.
Yeah,
really fun little film. One of the more fun ones too here.
Thank you.
Ones. I noticed you have an awesome pinhead pin.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
I got that in Florida. This very creepy man in a flea market had it.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, I figured I might as well buy it.
Yeah. Where is this going to be? I mean, is it playing in more fests of this film? Or?
We played at the Macabre Fair Film Festival in New York, I believe.
Okay.
I gave them I gave them pretty much all my episodes of Horror Show Theater, so I wasn't there at the time. I don't know what they chose to use, but they had a Horror Show Theater block. I don't believe we have any screenings anymore. Right now it's online, though. You can check it out on YouTube.
Okay, great.
Horror Show Theater or Sepulture Productions with a T, not a C.
I noticed the shirt. You have the Sepulture Productions. It's graphic. Where'd that come from?
I created that logo.
Nice.
It's all written out and everything legally. I drew it. It was inspired by the masked graves that you see with skeletons in pits.
Yeah.
Kind of hurled up in a fetal position.
Right.
I was drawing that, and I figured, why don't I put a camera in his hand? And from then on, I photoshopped it, and I just like where it went.
It is. It's very cool. It's a very cool, unique design.
Thank you.
For those who can't see this, it is a skeleton, sort of in a fetal position, like you said, and with a reel-to-reel camera in his hands. That's very cool.
Thank you.
Something you might see in Pompeii.
I wanted to go for like a simplistic, very sketchy kind of look.
Right.
Since my production company is running on shoestring budget, unfortunately, I figured I might as well embrace it and make it my own.
Yeah.
And it's coming along.
It's nice. Tell us a little bit about the web series that this film is a part of, Honey is a part of, because that's kind of a cool idea.
Each episode is their own standalone horror short. They range from 30 seconds to 10 minutes.
Okay.
This one has one of my more favorite talent, Ed Gale, but we've got a lot of other great talent in other episodes, like Nick Principe from Chrome Skull, Ron Thompson from American Pop and Beretta. If you remember that show, I love it.
Sure.
The idea was, how can we bring independent underground horror to the average YouTube audience? So we figured they don't have the attention span to watch a whole feature. Well, maybe some do, but let's just give them a tiny little taste of it.
Yeah.
So ever since then, we shot Season 1 2013. It's done. We had a plan to shoot a movie once every month, but unfortunately that fell through for a better plan. Why don't we just make a Season 2? That's
a very cool idea. You get more stuff out there. That's
so now
cool.
we're shooting Season 2 now. We got 2.5 episodes shot. We want to have 9 in total.
Okay.
And it's going to be released early 2015.
Awesome. Tell us again where they can find it online.
Yes, find it online on the YouTube page. If you look up Horror Show Theater or Sepulture Productions, you'll find it.
Awesome.
I'm also on Twitter as Sepulture PRO. Okay. And I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Unfortunately, that's it for now. We'll have more.
It's all right. We all start somewhere with the social media.
Of course.
Making it our tool.
It's a new world. Internet's vaudeville, man. Set up a soapbox and we got a show.
You got it. Well, it was great. It was really one of the fun shorts today, Honey, and looking online for that stuff will be great.
Thank you very much.
Give your name again real quick?
Sure. I'm Matthew Rosevalley. That's spelled R-O-S-V as in Victor, A-L-L-Y. Don't blame me for the spelling. Blame immigration.
Well, I appreciate you talking to us.
Thanks for talking to me, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed it, and we'll see you online.
Well, thank you very much.
You got it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ta-da. Hello. This is me. This is Neil again, kids. And I'm at Shriekfest. Yay, Shriekfest, that's 14 years.
14 years.
This is Denise Gossett. She's the master behind it all. How does it feel, though, like 14 years of Shriekfest?
I really don't believe it.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine doing anything for 14 years, really.
Yeah.
And, in one way, it seems long, and in other ways it seems short.
Yeah.
kind of scary both ways you think about it.
Yeah.
Where is time going? Woo.
We poked fun. I know last year we poked fun because I think someone said 13 years, and someone said, "Yay, another 13 more!" And your reaction was absolutely
No way.
you're like, not gonna happen. What do you think? It was 14 years. I mean, when do you think you're gonna do it? As long as you enjoy it, or are you just gonna say, when are you gonna say no? When is it gonna stop?
It's interesting because, like, last year I did think I was done. Although
Really?
people say I say that every year. But,
Yeah.
But last year there was something different. Like, I was done. And then I thought about it more, and I thought about what has Shriekfest given me and the people I meet. It's like a reunion, and then I meet new people, and I've helped a lot of people.
Yeah, I bet.
And it's really a nice feeling. And
Sure.
so I was thinking about all the things it has done for me besides what I've done for people.
Right.
And I started looking at it completely different and enjoying it. And then this year, in all complete honesty, there were times where I was like, okay, this is a great thing. A lot of people love it. They really love it. And I don't want to take that away from them.
Right.
My acting career is getting busier and busier.
Good.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's really good.
But then it makes me wonder, okay, how am I going to do this?
Sure.
So I think the plan now is for me to go through what needs to be done for this festival. What are the things I enjoy or don't mind doing?
Right.
And what are the things that I absolutely do not want to do again? And then find someone who is willing to do those. And that will be the only way it will keep continuing.
Okay.
Because there are certain things I'm done with doing.
Right.
Manual labor, I'm done with it.
Oh, yes.
Just done.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the night of
I
the
agree.
party, I'm in that long dress and I'm carrying things and no.
No, you can't do that
No.
anymore.
I want to really, honestly, I want to do work throughout the year for it and stuff I enjoy and don't mind. And I want to show up.
Yes.
And, be with the people and enjoy the people and that sort of thing. That's where I feel like I should be at this point.
Absolutely, and I think that's fair. You should definitely, but hopefully, like I said, you're not. It's not going to go away. You're just going to give a lot of the responsibility to somebody else. That's cool.
Right.
That would be
'Cause,
nice.
I have some help, obviously, but basically it's a one-woman show.
Absolutely.
For all these years.
And it is so
it's
much work.
exhausting. Yes.
And I'm talking to Chris and Graham. This podcast festival they've done, and now Chris said to me last night, he's like, now I know how hard it is to do a festival.
It's
a
so
year-long activity. You don't stop.
No, you don't. And even with constantly working on it, there will still be things where you go, if only I had the time to do that. If only I had the time to do that.
Yeah.
And then, through the years, I've come up with these amazing things that Shriekfest should be or should branch out to be. Like now we have Shriekfest Radio.
Right.
All these things, but then I go, it's just more work.
Yeah.
And so then I push it to the side and I ignore it.
Yeah,
So
it's hard.
I don't feel like it's like for the dreams I have for it, it will never meet its potential because I don't have the time to do it.
Right.
But if I find someone who's willing to run with some of those things, then it could.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we love it. I'm was it 6 or 7 years now, and of course that's always a treat for me.
I know you're a diehard.
I
It's
love
great.
it. I recently saw Get the Gringo.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Yay.
and you're awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And of course, this is going to lead me up to the question that I'm sure everybody asks: what was it like to work with Mel?
In all honesty, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And when people think like, well, how could it possibly be wonderful? This is the man that did Braveheart.
Yes.
This is the man that has done so many amazing projects.
Absolutely.
If he were a jerk on
Yeah.
set, he would never have made it that far.
That's true. People would not have wanted to work with him.
No. And, okay, maybe, he's had some drunken outrages or whatever. However, our producer
Yeah.
on Get the Gringo, Jewish. Our
Okay.
director on Get the Gringo, Jewish.
Okay.
If you really have that deep down in you, how could you work
Yeah.
with them?
That's true.
From all that time, months and months,
Yeah.
years, matter of fact, prepping and stuff.
Yeah,
How
that's
could
true.
You?
It's a very good point.
You know, we shot it before all those tapes came out, and when I heard them, I kept thinking, how can this be the same person?
Yeah.
Because he was funny, he plays jokes, he's so professional, he was going out of his way to ask my opinion on things. He was doing things to make my scenes longer.
Oh, that's cool.
And he was laughing his butt off at what I was doing, and then he'd go, "What if we did this?" And I'm like, "Terrible! This is so bad!" Because it's going to make the audience laugh even more.
Sure.
I'm like, now I am one of those actors who is acting her little heart out, and she's going through the worst day of her life, and we're laughing at her. But that's what's great about it.
Sure.
And he knows, he's got that eye. He knew what would work, and so he kept saying, "Do this, and let's try this," and he kept making my scenes longer, seriously. And he came up to me at the end, and he goes, "This turned out to be something pretty cool for you, huh?" And I go, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, yeah.
Yes, it was utterly amazing.
Yeah, and
so,
you had some significant time too on screen with him, which was cool.
Peter Stormare, Bob
Yeah,
Gunton, I worked with them all. They were awesome. So, yeah, he would not have gotten to where he was if he was a jerk on set. There's no way you could. No one would put up with it.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I hear some other things, like Tom Cruise.
Right.
You can say what you like, but
he maybe have his weird quirks.
But every time he works, he's a pro, and that's what I hear.
Yeah.
And you say, of course, Mel's a prankster, and I think it's some people know. Anything good? Did he get anybody really good on set?
No, just some of his comments. Like, he's always cracking jokes. There was one thing. He had some app in his phone that would distort your face if you took a picture.
Okay.
And so he took a picture of himself and he showed me he looked like Jay Leno because it distorted his face so much that it looked like he had this big chin. Yeah. And I'm like, oh man, don't ever gain weight, Mel, because that's what he would look like is Jay Leno. It was funny.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's good to know that he was cool to work with.
He really was. Yeah. Really was.
So you have, I guess you can't really say, we haven't done the awards. Want to say, but anything that you really loved this particular weekend on this fest?
Well, I think everybody here knows I love time lapse.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you told me, and I liked it.
I love with that movie.
And we got a chance to talk to those guys, so that's cool.
Yeah. Well, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Talented guys.
I'm looking forward to this last one too.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's actually a scary one.
Is they are around the Berkshire County kids? Are they?
Yes,
running around?
I think there's 6 of them that came in from Canada.
Maybe I'll try and say something. Say
you
hi.
You probably should. Audrey, it's a female director.
Okay. Oh, great.
Yeah, which is cool.
That is cool. We
Very
need more women in the industry.
And this year we had, I think there were 3 or 4 women directors in the festival.
Yeah, there were actually.
Very
there were a few of them. You've done an awful lot for that. That's for sure. And that's really great.
I hope. I don't know. But it does seem like there's more and more out there now.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah. Well, I love coming because I love your passion for it, and you're the sweetest person ever.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. Yeah, it is, and you're great.
Thank
so
you.
Thank you so much for doing it and talking.
Year too. It's always fun.
Yeah. How is the family?
Family is great. My daughter is 6 now. It's crazy.
Wow. Well, that probably says how long I've been here.
Yes,
We've been doing it since
she
then.
was born,
yeah. Because she was a little baby.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Crazy.
Well, awesome. And it's always a treat.
Thank you.
And, we'll see you next year, right? Fingers crossed.
Right? Yeah. Something will get worked out. Yeah.
You'll hopefully just appear and be the hostess.
Maybe. Who knows? I'm just going to be open to all opportunities, and see what comes of it. I trust that it's too good of a thing to just go away, so I'm going to trust that something magically will happen and all the answers will be there.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to try my hardest not to cry tonight.
I know you always try not to, but that's part of what's so endearing, though, because you care so much.
My volunteers are so funny, because last night I was getting loopy, and they go, oh, here we go. She's a loopy. Saturday night, she's always a loopy. And then one of them goes, and tomorrow at this time, she'll be crying. I'm like, yay!
Oh, it's fun, though. It's great.
Yeah. Yep, they know me.
Yeah. Well, Liz, thank you as always.
Thank you.
For letting me be here and for talking. And
Woohoo, horror.
yeah, love it. It's always fun.
Yep.
And it opens Halloween season for me.
Yeah.
It is, beginning of October.
Yep, get ready for all the goodies.
Yes.
Thank you, Neil.
My pleasure. And we will see you at the awards night and
Awesome.
And the party.
And the party, yes.
Alrighty.
Thank you,
Thanks.
sir.
I'm Neil from Comedy Film Nerds, one of the writers.
All right. Chris Mancini. Nice to meet you guys.
Why don't you guys just kind of tell us who you are and what your film is?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's
you should
all
be
right.
in on this
No,
too.
I haven't.
Okay.
I gotta get tickets.
Okay.
You guys
All right. Yeah, I want you guys to tell us who you are and what film you have and that sort of thing.
Well, I'm Bradley King, the director and writer of Time Lapse.
And I'm BP Cooper, producer and writer as well.
Okay. Good to see you guys. Like I was saying, a lot of good buzz here for this film. People have seen it, are telling me it's really worth the one to see.
Cool.
Which is why I had Chris Mancini come along.
Oh, wow.
We're both kind
That's
of. I'm kind of a horror guy for the website, sort of.
Yeah,
But we both really like science fiction.
Okay.
And so I knew, you'd want to be in on this. So,
Sweet.
tell us a little bit about. This is kind of a really cool idea, actually.
Basically, three roommates discover their old scientist neighbor dead, and in his apartment is a machine that takes pictures of the future. Spits out a Polaroid 24 hours in advance every day, and instead of doing the responsible thing of reporting the body, they decide to hide it and try to use the machine for their benefit. But it's a thriller, so everything goes wrong.
All right. It's a cool idea, and it's pretty unique, which I like.
Yeah.
What did you guys, any particular inspiration or where did that came from, especially the concept of like this machine that does only 24 hours?
Right. I mean, actually, as we learned, of course, it's actually not a unique idea. As you get into production, people read the script and they're like, oh, that's like this, or oh, that's just like that. But our inspiration came from, you might as well tell us, this is your story.
The film called Timeline, which is a sci-fi film from the early 2000s. Paul Walker. It's a Paul Walker vehicle. In it, his father's a scientist who created a time machine. He stepped in it, and he disappeared somewhere. So these guys are trying to find him, but they don't know where and when in time he went. So one of the scientists decides to put an actual normal camera inside the machine and point it up at the sky, and it ends up taking a picture of the constellations. And based on that data, they're able to determine when and where in time the dad went, and then they all decide to go after him and rescue him. But that was sort of the jumping off point, was, that was pretty cool. What if this camera could actually take a picture of the future or the past, without having to be in an apparatus that sends humans through.
Right, okay.
And basically the time machine and camera are the same
so
machine.
Exactly. And I mentioned that to Bradley on a Friday, and then on Monday he came into the writing room with all these ideas, which basically became the genesis of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. About how long was your shoot?
26 to 27 days.
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah, we went to shoot 25, and then we added a couple.
Yeah.
Kind of knew we would have to because of indie film.
Yeah.
You plan for everything, and that your plan's never going to stay the way it is. So
it's always the best laid plans always do go awry.
Yes.
Which we experienced that as well. It's the same thing. This has done some shoots. I know him. I've worked on him and his stuff. And
yeah, it happens, right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
You have any queries?
What are the plans for the film after the festival circuit?
Well, I'm going to go take a nap. I'm really tired. It's been a great circuit. We're on festival 40-something, though, now, or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been through the ringer a bit.
Yeah. But it's actually sold. It's playing. It's already sold to some countries. It's playing in Turkey tomorrow on TV, I think.
Awesome.
Yep.
Anybody that's in Turkey. And then we've sold here, right? We can talk about that, right?
Yeah. That's... It's not publicly released information, but we can talk about it.
Right. In February, it'll be limited theatrical, and then VOD.
Oh, very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When did you guys finish then? You've been on the road already for a while.
Yeah,
so.
we started the circuit in
April
or
March.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Was it January, February, March? Yeah, late March.
Yeah.
Early April. Yeah.
How'd you guys do the funding? Was it? Because I haven't even heard about it until now. Did you guys do any crowd type funding, or was it all?
That would have been smart.
Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
probably pluses and minuses in both directions.
It was self-financed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason we didn't do a Kickstarter or anything is we don't have anything in our body of work where people could. We didn't want to put money into like doing a short film based out of a scene from the film,
Right.
and then putting all of our resources and time into that, and it maybe not being able to convince people over a Kickstarter, Indiegogo to give us money, because it may not turn out that well.
And we knew we sort of wrote it specifically to be kind of within the amount of money we knew we could get privately. So I don't know. We were
By keeping it small in one location, we're able to do that. But we didn't have. But there was no fan base to tap into to do it. So
non-existing already.
Hopefully, after this,
the next one
we will.
Cool, but science fiction people are they kind of really are a niche group, and they usually latch on to stuff that sounds interesting, which is
trying to like co-opt us, though. You know what I mean? Like, I like that we're niche, but it's starting to become cool. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, true. You guys, what are you guys? Your science fiction fans?
Yeah, We had discussions. If we had to get pigeonholed in one thing, we'd definitely science fiction would be the thing. We'd be happy to do. So.
Got any particular favorites that stand out for you guys personally?
Man,
I know there's so many.
Right,
I never try to ask. I never try to say, give me your 3 favorites, because 3 is that's not you can't do 3 favorites. I usually just generally.
Yeah.
I
was an 80s kid, so I pretty much Star Wars was my entire life up to like 11. All my Christmas or birthday presents and Christmas presents, and then I don't know. I liked Star Trek too, and then Total Recall, the original, is one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, I love that.
He brings it up every day.
It's actually really well crafted,
but it's really a product of its time.
Yeah, it is.
Did you see
which was of course more slick, but I thought the story was actually still kind of better than the first one. I mean, it's not a great movie, but I think it's good science fiction.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Absolutely. It's one of those greats too, but I feel like it's when I watch it now, it really feels like a product of the year it was made. Mm-hmm. But still fun. So it's still absolutely a fun film.
Yeah.
2001. I don't know. It just goes on and on. I mean, all of them basically.
Yeah.
Do you have any you want to throw out there?
Well, mine's boring. Mine's Back to the Future. Boring only because that's everyone. It's on their top 10 somewhere.
Right. But Time Crimes we talked about a lot. I don't know if you've seen Time
Crimes.
That's
a cool
amazing
film.
That's probably my favorite time travel movie right now.
And really solid too. It's because it's time. That's something we're going to look for. Obviously, time travel is always a really difficult thing, plot wise, and people are always ready to pick at it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, that was a great one. There's just so many that I think now we're just starting to discover this whole new, layer of micro budget, films that are coming out that. Who knows, man? Like, they're all probably the next Christopher Nolans.
Yeah, maybe the industry's becoming, the everyman can do it.
Yeah, right.
It's becoming much more affordable. So.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Cool.
Time. I'm very, very excited. So, and I noticed recognizable people in this too. The actors.
There's a few. Yeah, Danielle. She'll be on TV next week on The Flash. And I hope that does really well.
Yep.
And George is here wandering around. I'm sure you could probably grab him if you wanted for a minute or two, but. He's got some good stuff, and Matt O'Leary. And John Rhys Davies is not going to be in there, so don't be looking.
If he's in the credits, don't look. No, he got cut.
He actually got cut. Believe it or not. It was heartbreaking because working with him was like the best day of my life. Because obviously I was a huge Indiana Jones fan too.
Sure.
But we just his scene just didn't quite fit. He's still there in photographs, and he's there off screen and talked about a lot, but his scene didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Well, they can't all make it.
Yeah.
It's true.
But he was cool with it.
Oh, man.
Or his manager said he was.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if he was.
Yeah. Let's see.
Well, gentlemen, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks so very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Slate your names again.
Pleasure.
You did on the film.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm Bradley King, writer-director in the movie Time Lapse.
BP Cooper, producer, writer, Time Lapse.
Great. Thanks so much.
Great. Thank you.
All right, guys. That was cool. That was cool stuff. I love what Neil. It's good because
I love hearing the filmmakers talk too, especially about all the stuff they went through and had to get their movie made.
And then Neil getting excited about going to the party.
Right.
So that was really cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We've got some cool episodes coming up. The Oklahoma City one will release, I think, right around New Year's. Next week is Rich Summer.
That was a great episode.
So as we said, guys, however you listen to this, if you can subscribe to us on iTunes, that helps our rankings.
Yes.
It helps our numbers, spread the word, and everything in the store. It's a Comedy Film Nerd store. We're giving 10% off through January 1st.
Yes.
With coupon code I'm a cheap asshole, no apostrophe. So check that out. Some of you have been cashing it in. You got to order by the 19th in order for it to make it for Christmas.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. So
if we release this episode
if
today.
we release this today on the 18th.
On the 18th.
Which I think now we have to.
Yeah.
So we'll release it today and check that out. I will be headlining New Year's Eve, the Skyline Comedy Cafe in beautiful Appleton, Wisconsin, doing 2 shows. And also headlining Zanies in downtown Chicago, January 2nd through the 4th. And the Improv in Lake Tahoe at Harvey's Hotel and Casino, January 28th through February 1. And the Improv at Harrah's Hotel and Casino in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. First time ever headlining on the Strip. Ladies and gentlemen, that is February 17th through 22. Chris, anything else?
Just have the Palm Springs one coming up, the Fantasy Springs Casino at over Martin Luther King weekend in January. And also, as always, want to thank you guys for supporting the store. And I still have a lot of signed copies of Pacify Me, a handbook for the freaked out new dad. I will sign and personalize it for you if you order it through us. A lot of those going out, a lot of new babies coming online toward the end of the year. So thank you so much for all the support. And all right, that's it.
All right, guys, this is episode 246, live from Shriekfest in the book. Don't punk out to terrorists. And my name is Graham Elwood.
I'm Chris Mancini, and as always, remember,
Han shot first.